Hello, my name is Lily Tang Williams. I am a Chinese immigrant with 3 children living in Colorado. I have the youngest daughter, 15 years old, who is a high school sophomore student in a local public school. I'm here to tell you, Common Core really scares me. It reminded me the communist education I had in China growing up under Mao's regime. When I was in school, starting 1st grade, we would chant every day, "Long live Chen Mao, long live Communist Party." And we had nationalized controlled education by our government, nationalized curriculum and nationalized standards. Our teachers had to teach to those standards and teach to test, or our teachers will lose their job. Our parents have no choice when it comes to what we are learning. There are no parental rights. And we would require to write diary and turn over to teachers for review. The privacy concept is something I never heard of. And in our diary, we're supposed to do self-criticism, and we're supposed to report on others who have politically incorrect speeches or thoughts, including your neighbors, your friends, sometimes even your families. It is a very sick system. Anyway, for our entertainment, when holiday comes, we will be required to sing songs and do revolutionary dances, to dress up like minorities or in soldiers' uniform, to thank Chen Mao and the Communist Party and saving us from poverty. Even though we were very poor ourselves, we could not even have enough food. The government also used a household registration system and a personnel file to keep track each citizen in China. I had a student file. This picture of me in middle school in Red Guard uniform is a picture they kept in my student file for 8th grade. The file will document all the details about you as a person, as a student, and your family, where you live, your political class, what kind of grades, what kind of behaviors, awards you get, punishments, any disciplinary actions against you, political incorrect behaviors, speeches, and of course, that they also put some teacher's opinion, recommendations there. Neither my parents nor I ever saw those files. And those files follow me and follow all other kids from 1st grade all the way to college, and then to our future jobs until you die. Without this personnel file, I think it's difficult for you to get any kind of jobs. And I broke the system by coming to United States. They could not track me anymore. But the file is still in China. They sent my file actually to my hometown, probably stored somewhere. So even though I'm here, sometimes I feel haunted by my file. And it's really worrisome that the Common Core is collecting children's data in this country. It really scared me that, and that's going to be shared with also government agencies, with employers, with private corporations. So our children become a target for corporate profits and become experimental subjects for education. And the government then has all the control on every child in this country, even on every adult. And some people say, we're doing Common Core because we want our system to be like China. Chinese children test very high, which is true, but they are trained to be test takers, not to be critical thinkers. There's another story from China's side you don't know. Chinese children are very miserable. They don't have much life. They don't have time for extracurriculars like arts and athletes and community service. And from each level of school, from elementary to middle school to high school, they're all standardized tests you have to pass, or you will be falling behind. You will be held back. And I remember when you graduate from high school, there are nationalized tests too, or you don't graduate. So everyday study is about prepare to pass those tests. And high school kids are even more miserable because the pressure to perform, the pressure to pass college exam, which is once a year nationalized exam for 3 days. And if you screwed up one time, it's like your life is done. You have to come back next year to retake the exam. That's the only way you can go to college, is to pass this nationalized college exam once a year. Lots of people spend money and time to give their kids extra study time at night by going to other private training preparation schools. And sometimes on the weekends. High schoolers have 12 to 14 hours a day. What kind of life is that? Also, when it comes to national curriculum, Department of Ministry in China, of course, carry out the central government's guidelines. They have to take politics as requirement, one of the subjects starting after middle school. And what is politics? It's nationalized indoctrination. And there are some kids who graduate even from college today, don't know what China history is really about. Don't know what Mao did during Cultural Revolution. 50 million people starved to death, even though the party said it was caused by natural disasters. And then the students don't know what happened in 1989, Tiananmen Square massacre, when the government ordered soldiers to kill its students. Chinese did not own any guns. They still cannot own any guns. So even though the citizens were against the massacre, they could not do anything. So why we want to be like China? Because if you look at how many Nobel Prize winners from China, educational system, 0. While US is ranked as #1 for Nobel Prize winners in terms of medicine and science. So do not just think test scores matter, it's everything. That kind of system actually suppresses free mind. It kills innovation, it kills the joys of learning, and there's no creativity. It makes our teachers become test givers, make our students become a robot, test takers. They're taught to conform, to follow, and they are not going to challenge authority, when they grow up. Is that what we want for America? And I thought I came to this country for freedom and for the individual rights and liberty, and to be left alone by the government. But now, how can I let my child go through the same thing I went through in China? So Mr. President Obama, Mr. Gates, and Mr. Jeb Bush, you're pushing for Common Core. Can you convince me to go through this again in this country? Because the Common Core remind me of the Communist Core I had in China. Why should I let my child to go through this again? Remember the famous saying by Abraham Lincoln. He said the philosophy of the schoolroom today will be the philosophy for the government next generation. If we really want this country to remain to be land of the free, home of the brave, then we need to stop Common Core. So parents, please opt your children out now. Teachers, please speak up, have courage to refuse the testing. All Americans who love this country, please join the fight before it's too late. Let's fight together, let's unite it, repeal Common Core. Thank you very much.